About Luis Heel and what made him so dominant, navigating himself through that Orioles lineup.
I think just the way he attacks the zone with it and knows his strengths with it, I think the velocity is really good. I think when he gets to good areas, I think it's a really good pitch.
When did you know he was dialed in?
Oh, in the bullpen. His last couple times I've caught him, I felt like he's been getting after the zone a little bit more and letting his pitches play.
What's been the biggest area of growth you've seen in just the handful of starts that he's made so far this season?
I think his mentality towards the prep for the game. He's actually prepping for these hitters, prepping for the game itself, and he's not out there just throwing. He's pitching now.
You mentioned that preparation. Oswaldo Cabrera said in the clubhouse yesterday that he saw him on the bus and it seemed like he was already focused. Has there been a noticeable difference in that area of just his mentality when he steps in the ballpark?
Yeah, for sure. I think, yesterday in our meeting, he was ready for it. He was, and while he was talking to us, giving us the rundown on what he likes and stuff, he was using his notes as like he was watching the past couple games, and he was like, I saw this from this guy, this from this guy. So not only is he doing his work before his starts, but he's doing his work on the bench too when he's watching the games.
When he locates that plus fastball and then throws the power change where he wants it, just how difficult is that as a hitter in the box?
It's just hard. I mean, you got two, very, very good pitches that he attacks his zone with, and I think that's what's helping him right now.
Clay Holmes came in for a 5-out save. Is that the best you have ever seen him?
Yeah, I mean, I went up to him after the game and was like, man, that might have been the best I've ever seen you, and I've seen you in some good times. So that was pretty electric yesterday.
What was different about his slider? What was different about his sinker? I mean, they're always good, but they seemed like they were even, like you said, better.
Maybe it was the moment of the game or something, but that was really good. I thought he was really good yesterday.
Overall this season, what's impressed you about Holmes?
I think the way he goes about his business, like it's very professional, and he wants the ball every time. Like anytime you ask him, you're like, hey, you ready to go today? He's like, yep, every time. So for him to come out, do what he does, it's special. Anytime he gets out there on the mound, you know that you have a chance to win the ball game.
I'm not sure if you saw it the other day. Little bit of a controversial call in that Mets game, blocking the plate. Mm-hmm. What's your understanding of that rule, and what are you guys taught in spring training?
I mean, I heard Mendy talk about it. I'm with Mendy. I think they gave us clear instructions on how to go about that. That's give the runner a clear lane. So you have to give him a clear lane until you have the ball. So for me, I think it's just like a little bit of controversy, like you said, and just kind of see where the rules are.
Is that in the back of your mind when you're out there on a play like that? Like,
yeah. Always. So, like, for me, if there's a ball hit and I know the runner has a chance to come home, I make sure I'm stepping in front of the plate, and I make sure the home plate umpire knows. And at some point, I'm like, hey, am I good? Like, I'll be yelling at him, am I good? Am I good? And he'll give me a verbal of yes or whatever it is. But for the most part, I try to give the runner as big of a lane as I can, and that way I can judge the throw coming in.
I know it's been like that for a little while, but I'm sure you're not taught that when you're coming up, at least originally. Just how, I would think it's second nature to do it the other way. Just how difficult is that to keep it in your mind?
Well, we go over the rules pretty well here. Tanner Swanson does a really good job with us and informs us on all the new rules that are coming, and we actually have a day in spring training where it's like, hey, we need to emphasize plays at the plate. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Our foot needs to be here, not here. We need to be in fair territory, not in foul territory. So for us, it's something that we go over, and it's something that we understand, but the rule is the rule. So I don't know what they have going on, so we'll see what the ultimate call is. I think they're going to talk to the umpires or something, so we'll see.
Jose Trevino is not in this afternoon's starting lineup. Instead, it's going to be Austin Wells in there, catching Carlos Rodon with the right-hander and Kyle Bradish on the mound for the Orioles. Also noteworthy, Aaron Boone said earlier today that Clay Holmes could potentially be an option should they need him today. He threw 23 pitches in that 5-out save yesterday. His 10th save of the season. I had the opportunity to catch up with Matt Blake about his performance, and he said his slider to lefties last night is like something they have not seen seen yet. And the fact that he's throwing it so consistently this season has just been another weapon that he can go to in tough scenarios. And Blake also added, he was standing right next to Aaron Boone in the dugout, and it's very close here in Baltimore, and said you could feel the physicality of it. You could tell the way that pitch was moving. So the Yankees hope they see a lot more of that from Clay Holmes, who has been fantastic to start the season. And there is one note on the injury front. John Birdie, according to Aaron Boone, is expected to play with the Somerset Patriots today.
All right, Meredith, sounds good. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you in just a bit with Michael Kay, David Cohn, and Joe Girardi. Well, all season long here on Yes, we're inviting you to show us the different ways you support the Yankees. Use the QR code on screen with the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post pictures to social media that reflect your love for the Yankees. We might spotlight you in a future game. Pinstripe Pride is brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Well, time for our first time out on the FanDuel pregame. A few moments ago, Meredith said Alex Verdugo is back from his paternity leave. We spotlight the Yankees left fielder after a quick timeout right here on Yes.